Alright guys, welcome back. We have got an absolute brand spanking new game. Matter of fact, it was just released October the 15th. It's called I Am an Air Traffic Controller 4. Now, I've already been through all the tutorial phases we see here. We're fixing to go through them. And this is going to be an incredible game, guys. The immersion in it is great. It is just a point and click game, but there are so many that I can see. There's at least 5 phases to this that you have to keep up with. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be real interesting. So let's start the tutorial. We'll run through that this first episode, kind of give you an idea of what you can do with the game. All right. This is the stage to learn about the control of departing aircraft. You can learn pushback from the spot, taxiing instructions, takeoff instructions from the tower, handoff at departure, and ATC handoff. Conditions are clear, and there are no clear conditions in this stage. Let's get her started. You got to read fast here too, or I'm telling you, they'll pop them in there and pop them out, and you won't have any idea what they said. So it looks like we're going to have red airlines, blue airlines, white airlines, red airlines, and black airlines. So it looks like we've got a purple airline somewhere down the line too. All right. Use the mouse to take a look around the airport. There you go, like that. Left and right, using the left mouse button. Now here in a minute, you can just drag and you can do everything. So. All right, here's your sky and ground radar. These are your different areas of responsibility. So you've got delivery, ground, tower, departure, and approach. Look for red 135. There's red 135. Switch the radar to ground radar and check the position of the aircraft. So now we switch to ground. Red 135 is right there. The aircraft is ready to depart. We'll ask the ground controller of delivery for departure clearance. Give ATC clearance. We'll give him ATC clearance. We're going to go to the tower. That's the aircraft camera. This is real hard. Very hard to understand what they're saying. That was a read back. She responded. Now we're going to get a pushback. They're going to ask us if it's ready to taxi. The aircraft have received departure clearance from the controller. We'll ask the controller of ground for pushback clearance. Give pushback clearance. Pushback is approved. So now we're pushing back here. Flick the screen and take a look around the aircraft. Return to the tower viewpoint. Drag the screen. So here you can drag all the way around, so we're good. We might want to look to see if there's anybody on the runway. Don't see anything around him, so we're good. We can get rid of this now. We know there's nobody around him. Oh, you can pause it. Oh, well, like that. I didn't know that was there. When pushed back in, you will be asked for permission to taxi. Choose the route so that it does not conflict with other aircraft. We're going to approve his taxi. We don't see anything around him, so we're good to go. That's inside the aircraft you're hearing there. If you want to stop taxiing, you can also construct. Hold this position. Right there, taxi. First closed red strip. Magnify the radar image and check the position of blue 563. Okay, there he is. Next, magnify the radar image to check the position of blue 563. Zoom in with the rate we did that. The aircraft seems to be stopped before blue 563. Change the route to avoid other aircraft. We're going to click on GH 103. So we changed how this guy was going. Now, once we get out of the tutorial, you'll be able to go to that and watch him. Route display on the radar has also been changed. So we've got this guy changing over here to get out of the way of GH 103. We're still focused on blue. We would be able to go and look at GH 103 once we're not in tutorial. We can click GH 103 right here, and it would automatically go over to GH 103. Hands over the tower in charge of takeoff and landing from the change of the ground. When handoff, even if the aircraft crosses runway, it heads to the intended runway without temporarily stopping. Please note that you will not be able to give instructions using route change or hold this position. Once they do that, you can't change it. Listen to ATC of TWR handoff instruction, TWR handoff. So we're going to hand them off to the tower. Okay, so this flipped over to tower. Next, the takeoff landing official gives instructions for takeoff. If there are any other aircraft on the runway, and whether there are any aircraft trying to land or instruct accordingly. If you do not want to take off immediately, by adjusting instructions to line up and wait, enter it in the runway and standing by, or hold short of the runway and stop before moving onto the runway. Now, we can always do this here at the tower too. But I enjoy the aircraft view. So since there are no other aircraft on the runway, give takeoff clearance. So we're going to give him takeoff clearance. Here we cleared for takeoff. Take a look at the takeoff scene from the aircraft viewpoint, which we're already here. This is where we would see it in tower, and we will go to aircraft and look at it there. I love my Tower 3D Pro. I love the voice recognition. But I also love this. I love the graphics on this, which are a lot better than Tower 3D Pro. And you stay with it. You stay with your aircraft a lot longer. And it's really nice. When you get out of the tutorial mode, you'll be able to click on any of your aircraft and go right to them. But here, they're not going to let you do it because we're in tutorial mode. This game actually came out on October the 15th. So it's been out for a couple of weeks now. So about 10 days, 2 weeks, about 13 days. Today's the 28th. So I've been keeping an eye on it. I've been wanting to look at it. Now we've got it. So. Okay, now with this is we flipped over from ground to sky. You can actually watch your airplane take off here. Flip over to ground, and it shows that we're taking off in green right there. And one thing that Tower 3 Pro doesn't have, watch those landing gears, guys. Look at the landing gears. Watch them, watch them, watch them. Don't take your eyes off of them. Goodbye, landing gear. They're going away. Yes. When the aircraft takes off, it hands over to departure control. So we're going to hand him off to departure. And we flipped over to departure. I love the way it flips over to the board. Now this is the way it really is in flight controllers. It flips over to a different board. As the aircraft climb, it passes next air responsibility controller, and radio will come in. State that you are confirmed the aircraft presence with radar. So we tell them we've got them on radar because they came to departure. We tell them that we've got them on the radar. Now we're going to close the strip. As the aircraft continues to climb, it will be taken over by Area Control Center, ACC, and now heads for its destination. Switch to the surveillance radar. Take a look at the aircraft as it continues to climb. All right, we got a new aircraft now. He's heading to Heathrow. It's in flight, so we're going to hand him off. Watch him. It'll be switched over now. And he's gone bye-bye. There it is. It's going to be fun, guys. I'm telling you what, it is going to be a hoot. Let's go to our next tutorial. I promise you guys, the more you play this game, the more you'll be able to understand what they're saying over the radio. It took me forever to understand that they were saying decimal something. So let's do a tutorial 2, which is approach. All right, in this stage you learn about the control of arriving aircraft. You can learn the flow of instructions during the approach, turning weight, instructions from tower handoff on arrival to landing and spot in. You'll have all these cool airlines once you get out of the tutorial. Click the current responsible aircraft. That's the one we're going to get. That's the one. When an aircraft enters the airport's controller space, controls on ATC air radio passes. There you go. Let's look for Black 85 that entered the control zone. First, check the position with the radar surveillance radar, airport surveillance radar, and select the aircraft. Adjust the size. There we are. Bam. Black 85. Since it's difficult to see Black 85 from this viewpoint, switch to the aircraft. All right, there we are. The controller will inform the aircraft that it has confirmed it's with control zone. Click. 34 left. Confirm the arrival time and instruct route change as necessary. At this time, consider the relationship with other aircraft and issue. Okay. We're going to change his route. I'm not sure why they're making us do that. And then we'll assign that route. I don't see in conflict with anything else here, but I don't, oh well, it's a tutorial. Okay, we're setting him up a vector for ILS approach. The fact that the route was changed is reflected in the radar image. The route is changed also used to separate adjustment from other aircraft. I guess we just wanted him to intersect the ILS quicker. Intercept final approach course to cancel the route change. So we've told him to intercept. That looks good to me. You can also direct landing approach clearance before route change, but be careful as route change instructions cannot be given after landing approach clearance is granted. You can't change your routes once you've cleared them to land. Course adjustment in the sky can also be performed with reduced speed instructions. Reduced speed instructions adjust the speed by slowing down the flight speed. So if they're running too close behind somebody, or if you've got somebody on the runway, you can get them to slow down. Give these instructions as necessary by looking at the arrival time, position in relation to the aircraft, and the airport condition situation. When the aircraft approaches the airport, it is passed over to takeoff and landing tower for landing. Instruct Blue 2097 as it approaches the airport. Now watch, it's going to switch over. So we've got this guy. So he's going to come over here, watch. Boom. There he is. Additionally, the aircraft has headed toward the airport and commenced its final approach. Check the condition of the runway and give landing clearance. Clear to land when calm. So now we cannot change its course unless it's to go around. Next, take a look at the aircraft landing at the airport. So we've got Blue 495 landing. So we'll click over to him. We'll get him out of the way to make sure Blue 2097 has a clear runway. Just check this out, guys. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That is just 9 kinds of cool. Now watch this. Watch it, guys. They reversed his engines just a little too soon. After confirming the landing of the aircraft, select the departure point from the runway. Select the appropriate departure point while confirming the position of the arrival spot, the distance to the following aircraft. Get him to take off that runway as fast as he can. Turn left, available turnway. There you go. Have ground take over. So we're going to hand him off the ground. Watch this. Watch this. It's going to come from here to here. Boom. When the aircraft contacts ground movement control, give the aircraft permission to taxi to the ground spot. Let's guide the taxiway. It will take us to the spot. When checking the aircraft on ground, switch to ground radar and let's confirm. So we'll switch to ground. Let's zoom in here a little bit. We want him over here. So it's approved for him to come over here. Nothing's in his way. We've got nothing coming in, so we're good. Now he's off the runway and he's ready to taxi. He's holding short, getting instructions. There's his instructions. He's coming down on Echo 8. Using route Echo 8 right there, guys. That gives you your weather condition. What do we want? I guess we'll leave him right there. Nah, we don't need that. Stop park when the aircraft arrives at the spot. The controller arrive. Aircraft is over. Spot in later when that delay. You can experiment with arrival times as long as the time limit is duly considered. Anybody know what they're saying? Send me a message. Beautiful language, though. All right, we'll go to our third and final tutorial, and we're gonna hit this hot and heavy, guys. Runway change. In this stage, you learn about changing the runway to be used and controlled during landing retry. After landing abort and go around, you can learn the flow of instructions when changing the runway or retrying a land. All right, there's your sky ground. There's our board. So let's get started. I don't want that off. If there are other aircrafts on the runway using the landing, sudden wind shear is not possible to land. The landing may be aborted, may be attempted again. This is called a aborted approach go around. The decision to abort go around can either come from the pilot or controller, but in either case, after the go around decision, the aircraft is considered to be a departing aircraft from the airport. So just with any departure is handed over to the responsible controller. Let's practice the case where an aircraft is committed to landing, must abort the landing and attempt to land again. Now, look for blue 280 that has committed to landing. There he is right there. There he is right there. Firstly, make sure that no aircraft on the runway, the ground radar. So we'll go to ground radar. We do have one aircraft on 34 right. The aircraft is already on the runway. So we're going to get him to go around. So let's go to the aircraft. So he has quit descending, as you can see. So now he is executing a go around. When trying to land on a runway that cannot be used due to wind direction, at the pilot's discretion, a go around will automatically occur. So in this game, the pilot can actually inform a go around, make that decision. And he'll do it by looking at the wind, which is right up here. And as you can see, they're landing into the wind. I didn't even get a chance to read that. Sorry, guys. See runway 34 right, that's actually heading 340. The wind is coming in at 360. So it is coming in at a right angle a little bit. So it's on here, guys, until he gets over the runway. So he's coming over, getting pretty much over the runway right now. As the airport flies over the runway, it increases altitude. Now he's increasing altitude. Oh, actually, he's decreasing. Well, that's him going over right now anyway, so. Quite sure why he's decreasing altitude. Now he's going to start increasing. Treat as a departing aircraft and hand off the controller. Hand him off to departure. There he goes. Okay. After that, we hand off the controller responsible for the aircraft to approach. All right. Approach, bring him all the way around and hand him back off to tower. Controller in charge of approach confirms that the aircraft is entered in the control zone, confirmed by radar contact. There's his missed approach course right there. Again, it's the same control and arrival. By having the arrival aircraft repeat the landing attempt, the problem can be avoided. Absolutely. Next, let's practice runway change. The aircraft will land into the wind. The wind direction will display on the radar and the weather forecast window right there. The wind's definitely changed. Now we're going to have to land right here. When the wind direction changes, runway change, the runway that is originally planned becomes unusable. With reference to the weather forecast window, predicted minutes how long before the runway will become unusable. So the aircraft changes runway. Change the landing runway. Here we'll change the runway as an example with an aircraft in the sky awaiting instructions. Change the radar to sky. Select red 354. Change to aircraft. We're going to do a runway change. 22 right. 22 right there. This runway change direction can be indicated up to a certain distance from appearance in the sky and before pushback approval on the ground. After instructing the change of runway, the aircraft flies a course to the approach route for the new runway. The fact that the route was changed on the radar is reflected. See, right here is where its route changed. After that, the process is the same as the control of a normal arrival aircraft. This concludes the runway change tutorial, which is actually going to conclude the video, guys. Alrighty, I hope you've enjoyed it. We're fixing to hit this one a little better. We're going to get out of tutorial and start doing some ATC. Let me know how you like it, guys. Let me know if you want to see more of it. We're happy to put it on for you. All right. Get back to the main screen here. All right, that's it. Y'all have a great evening.